it up again. Give it up again. The Wallace Smaller Performing Arts Center. The young people are out here and they're giving it up. I think the rain came down a little bit stronger after that. I don't know. It's our ancestors speaking. So we're gonna go off the program a little bit because we have some more of our fearless leaders here, and not only elected officials, but leaders here in Central Brooklyn. We have the great Charles Barron and his wife, herself powerful, Sister Inez Barron. Please come to the stage.
And my sisters, it is such an honor to be here this morning for this glorious occasion. Seeing all the faces going back 50 plus years for the work that we have been doing and honoring our ancestor, JITU WEUSI. I first met JITU in 1967. And that was the year just before we started with the Ocean Hill Brownsville campaign. I was teaching at PS 41, 81, 121, can't remember the number, I'm getting a little up in age. And it was down the hill from the one on junior high school. PS 81, thank you. That was before, 81 was the further back. So we were attracted to his leadership along with Al Van and started the African American Teachers Association because we understood, particularly at that time, that we had to preserve our culture and we had to make other people respect and honor our culture. So we waged that campaign. We were the impetus for that infamous strike, which said, no, you're not going to come in here and tell us who it is that you teach our most precious, our children. And we battled, and we battled, and we didn't get up, we didn't give up, and we went forward. It was a mobilization. It was a mobilization that was unmatched since that time. From there, it went on to establish the East, down the block at 10 Claver Place, all of the concerts and all of the cultural events that took place in that small space, and then went on to the festival that took place on that block with the vendors in the middle of the streets, with their wares in the middle of the streets on these wooden constructed tables, and from there it has grown to what it is today. So it is certainly fitting that we should take this occasion and commemorate the great work that Baba JITU WEUSI has done for 50 plus years, because he didn't just start in 1968. Thank you so much.
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Baba JITU was my mentor,
That's right.
my leader, one of the greatest organizers in this nation.
That's right.
So I'm going to make it short, sweet, and strong.
That's it.
He taught us not to be sellouts. If you're going to be a politician, be a revolutionary politician. If you're going to be a doctor, be a revolutionary doctor. If you're going to be a lawyer, be a revolutionary lawyer. If you're going to be a teacher, teach the truth. Teach the truth. If you're going to be a businessman, no more capitalism, African communalism. That's what Baba JITU taught us. So all that around him today, honoring him today, y'all watch them after today. And make sure they don't talk stuff here and then after this ceremony get back and sell us out by passing budgets that favor the police instead of the people. Right on, Bubba G2. We're going to fire this place up for JITU WEUSI. The best thing you can do is be fired up, Reverend Daughtry. Won't take no more. We're fired up.
Won't take no more.
All fired up.
Won't take no more.
Straight ahead.
Forward ever. Forward ever. Forward ever. Salute, salute, salute. Now, we'd like to bring up, is it Baba Maliki? Baba Maliki to speak about the African American Students Association.
Habari. I get a little discombobulated when I get up here, but I'm going to get it together. No one else is more deserving of this honor today than Brother G2. Okay? When Albert Van and the other teachers created the African American Teachers Association, G2 knew the answer was young people. And he created the African American Students Association and taught us work, taught us respect and responsibility. Okay? And for all the politicians out here, we organized every high school in New York City. We had a chapter in every high school in New York City. If they kicked you out of school, we take a whole school down there to reinstate you. That's how organized we were. Okay? So, this honor is most deserving. He had all of us at 14, 15. Everybody he had. Me, Imari, Ife, Nalaja, Achilles, the Nances, Shaiba's here, okay? So to all of us, we want to say thank you because he taught us if what you learn is real, you can take it anywhere you go. Tutanada, peace.
Everybody's fired up. This is what I like, man. Everybody's coming here fired up, and there's a reason why. Because we're all students of G2. Students of G2. Students of G2. Forward ever. Forward ever. Now, we have Sister Mama Martha E. Bright from the Council of Independent Black Institutions.
Barigani and Dugu Nadada. It is my honor to deliver these remarks on behalf of one of the executive directors, one of the founders of the Council of Independent Black Institutions, Baba Nana Kofi Lomate, PhD. It is an honor to participate in this tribute to Baba JITU WEUSI. As the city of New York renames Putnam Plaza as JITU WEUSI Plaza, I express appreciation to Brother Kojo Campbell and to the entire JITU WEUSI Plaza renaming ceremony committee. Let's hear it. The celebration of this renaming is the culmination of a long battle, our spiritual number, the number 7, with such a positive outcome. I worked with Baba G2 in the Council of Independent Black Institutions, or CB. CB is a membership organization for individuals and institutions who advocate to implement African-centered education in Africa and throughout the diaspora. The East, of course, let's hear it for the East, was the founding member of CB. Under the leadership of Baba JITU WEUSI, the impact of the East and Uhuru Sasa participate in this tribute to one of our shining heroes, Baba JITU WEUSI. Enjoy the parade and the 50th International African Arts Festival. Asante Sana, Pamoja Tutashinda. Together we will win. Ashe.
Wow. Mama Martha Bright comes with the energy always. And this is just an example of the list of institutions that Baba JITU has been a part of developing and pushing forward. An institution builder. So as we continue the program, it reminds me of something that Dr. Sam Pence said that my father always reminds me. He said that the people build communities. Communities build institutions. And institutions help the people, service the people. And that's the lifeline that we build by here at the East and being black people, communal people. There's a cycle to services. There's a cycle to support. And we must continue that. And by the institutions that we build, we must challenge them to continue to support the people. So next up, I want to bring up, well, he represents a lot. They have here WBAI, Education on the Crossroads, but we know he does a lot more than that. Our Baba, our brother, Baba Basir and Chawi.
Back in 2016, the National Black United Front did a dinner, and I wrote a piece for JITU. So I'm going to share that with you right now. A man with many names. Brother got a lot of names. Call him JITU, Big Black, Kasisi, Brother Les, Black, Weusi, Chief, Baba JITU, Mwalimu. Since JITU means giant and Weusi means black in Kiswahili, let us start there. My big brother, casting a long shadow and blocking out the sun, constantly building institutions and organizations, a visionary bringing ideas into reality. By 1968 and the struggle for Ocean Hill, Brownsville, and community control, the path had been entered. Education for our children, Uhuru Sasa, freedom now. Imagine JITU huddled up with Herman Ferguson and Baba Abubadika Sonny Carson. We need our own schools, training our own teachers to do great things with our own children. JITU needed to look at some models. He found Brother John Churchville in Philly running the Freedom Day School. He would go back and forth to Philly and talk with Churchville on the phone from Brooklyn. So JITU led the exodus out of the public schools and white-run institutions. Like Bob Marley says in his song Exodus, JITU set the captives free. There in a building on Claver Place, then called Studio O, a new revolution began. The rest is in history. The East and East Family, Uhuru Sasa and Imani Child Development, the Evening School of Knowledge, Black News and Akiba Mku, the East Bookstore, Kununuwana, our food co-op. Powerful edutainment at the world-famous East Weekend Sets, where you could see Pharaoh Sanders, Freddie Hubbard, Betty Carter, Sun Ra and his orchestra, Sonny Rollins, Exuma, Gary Box, and all the others, while eating kawaii rice and drinking East Punch. The International African Arts Festival, now 50 years old, starts right there at Claver Place as the African Street Carnival. The need for African-centered education became so great that the Brooklyn Family Schools and the Council for Independent Black Education, CB, were formed. At the East, we had our own foreign policy and undertook diplomatic missions to several countries in Africa, to South America, and the Caribbean, to China and Japan. Now, there are brothers almost 7 feet tall and taller who drive their own cars, but G2 was not one of them. I never asked him why he didn't drive. G2 had the knack of folding his tall frame up to fit in even the smallest of cars. We would drive him wherever he had to go until later years when G2 could be seen riding the bus all over Brooklyn. Sometimes he would just walk. Everyone would know him and greetings would come from young and old as they would greet him in one of his many names. I remember when G2 felt the need for another broad mass-based organization. It became NBUF, the National Black United Front. We held a demonstration against racism and police violence on Kingston Avenue and Eastern Parkway. Arthur Miller had been murdered by NYPD, and Victor Rhodes had been beaten by an Orthodox Jewish patrol. I can see G2 marching arm in arm with Reverend Herbert Daughtry right there on the Parkway. The founding NBUF convention was held in Brooklyn at the Uhuru Center. I was there convening a workshop on the media along with Brother Don Rojas. We give praise to all those making it possible for us to be here today. Kasisi Yusuf Imam, Babas MJ Moyo and John Watusi Branch, Mamas Amanisha Wayusi, Kuumba, and Achuda Bakar. I have stories to tell about all of them, and there are so many more who now reside with the ancestors. But today, we remember Baba Kasisi JITU WEUSI, the man with many names. You always had to look up at G2, and now, with G2 assuming the role of ancestor, we still do that. Baba JITU WEUSI, my big brother, we are still looking up at you. Sante Sante.
Thank you, Baba Basir, and thank you for mentioning the rest of the ancestors that have gone before us, okay? And those very important people that we want to make sure we say their names out, Ashe. Next, we have from WBAI, Sister Mimi Rosenberg.
First of all, I have to pay honor to Sam Penn, the spirits here, Sister Karen Daughtry, Reverend Daughtry, Job Mashariki, Esmeralda Simmons, so many others, Omawali Clay, and I must do that because all of them were informed and part of what was the greatest gift that I think anybody can give to their people and was personified by G2, and that is to be an educator, to be a teacher, to be someone who gives with love, unadulterated love and commitment to the people. G2 changed the trajectory of my life because he took off my blinders of Eurocentrism, of white supremacy, to understand where true democracy lies. He is the ultimate teacher. He is the ultimate teacher because he fought for this country and this world to realize the promise of democracy, which was absolutely denied as we are a nation of settler colonialists. And whether it was the community control of school movement where I first met G2 and was forced to recognize how backward the UFT Union was, how reactionary white supremacy is, that it chains all of us. In any event, from working with G2 and working with the community in the community control movement to the Black United Front Support Committee, which G2 gave me the most important lesson I have, and then on to much more important people to speak. And that was, as had Malcolm, but G2 made me realize and understand through the Black United Front Support Committee that the greatest thing that I could do for the realization of democracy was to work in my community, amongst my people, my family, and the institutions, the reactionary institutions, the white racist institutions we created to root out, branch and root white supremacy. And that was the teaching. That was the teaching that G2 gave to me, and what I think I can continue, and understanding that my work continues in that community. And once again, I am honored. So many people here that have given their lives and their spirit to reveal the fraud of European, of U.S. specialty. We are not a democracy, and the work continues, and G2's inspiration, the organizations he created, live on in everybody here, and I am absolutely blessed that he touched my life. Thank you, G2, for being the educator, and thank you all for carrying on his legacy. I really, really am honored. Thank you.
Auntie Mimi coming to the barbecue. That's all I gotta say. Next, we have the dynamic poetress, Taliba Iman.
We're gonna need a little group participation with this one right here. In memory of Yusuf Iman. This is one of his poems. Brought here in slave ships and pitched overboard. Love your enemy. Language taken away, culture taken away. Love your enemy. Work from sun up to sundown. There you go. Last hired, first fired. Rape your mother. Lynch your father. Bomb your churches. Kill your children. Force to fight your wars. Pay the highest rent. Sell you rotten food. Forced to live in the slums. Dilapidated schools. Put you in jail. Beaten by dogs. Water hose you down. Love, 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 love. But when are we ever gonna love ourselves? Thank you.
We have to love ourselves. We have to love ourselves. But the form of love looks different ways. And one of them is through education. Education of our past, education of what our future looks like. Not only academia, but natural. So I want to bring up one of the elders that I was supposed to do earlier, but I want to bring her up and make sure she speaks. We're bringing up Mama Iya Olatunji to come talk to us and address us right now. Here you go, here you go. Here you go. Oh, she coming? All right, all right. Come on this side, Moshe. Moshe, come on this side.
Love Supreme. Love Supreme. That is the tune that John Coltrane wrote for Naima. Love Supreme. And Alice Coltrane, the musicians who are very creative. And I came to New York from Alabama because I knew things were not right. And I haven't seen my mother since I was this age. But she taught me everything I knew. And I came to New York to live 1 year at Syracuse University. I had never been in a public library in Alabama in my life. So I became a public librarian for New York Public Library. And when they said you could work as a public librarian because you could go on vacation anytime. And my grandmother's brothers, all of them have graduated from Meharry over 100 years ago. I knew 2 of them. So, but now, I know I have a few minutes, and my mother taught me everything I knew, so I came to New York to work for 1 year, and I'm still here, and by the grace, I will be 91, October the 4th. And I haven't worked this many years for money. And my daughter says that I can't afford to eat organic food, it's this and that and the other thing. And so I was locked up in number 1 Police Plaza with our councilman and his wife, and they wouldn't let me out the way they let people out because they didn't want to see the elders who were locked up for organizing. And it's a long story. And now, and I don't know whether you know the name Fela, the musician, but Fela was in the prison. And the people, they put him in a place, and they came and asked him, how did they treat you, Fela? And Fela said, never worry me, never, 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 never worry me. So he wouldn't talk about it. And he left his gates open, and in his area were the pythons, and but people wouldn't come in there. So his dancers, who danced bare-breasted, visited my home. There were 4 of them, and they were on pedestal, and they performed the last time at Medgar Evers College. And Fela allowed them to come to my house that night. And I gave them presents, and he put a coral necklace on my neck. So I say, segregation, never worry me, never, never, never worry me, because this is a so many $1 billion industry a year, a $30 billion industry selling hair to our people. So what the European is doing, never worry me, never, never, never worry me. And this right here, the person who wove this can't read and write in anybody's language, but they can make money all over the world. And we sent for the weaver to come to stay in New York. And he stayed here, and he wove all this fabric and all this. And so what I'm saying today, go and sit up under your own fig tree, make your own preserves, and don't let what the other people do worry you. Keep your property and use it for everybody. I love you. Aloha.
Queen Mother, Ialuduce. So I want to address something. She says she can't afford organic, but we're going to make sure she get organic, right? But then I'm questioning, does she even need organic? Because if she ain't have organic yet, and she got more hair than me, what's going on here? I don't know. I'm in a state of flux right now. I don't know what to do. How we can support Queen Mother, but we're going to make sure Queen Mother got what she got. Facts? Facts? Next up, we like to bring, we go to the East presentation, and we like to bring Mama Malika Iman to the stage.
G2 WEUSI. That means all praises is due to G2 WEUSI. All praises is due G2 WEUSI. This is so fitting and this is most necessary for Baba G2 WEUSI. I am honored to be one of his students and being one of his helpers and worker back in the day when my father and mother, Yusuf and Dara Iman, all praises due, came to the East at the request of Amiri Baraka to come here to Brooklyn to teach and bring the teachings of Kawaida and Kwanzaa, the 7 principles, to the Uhuda Sasa school. We was amazed at what was already going down.
Many of you know I did the homegoing, and somehow that was infinitely easier to deal with than this. Brother Van, you still here? He's gone. Those of you who know our history know that 1064 Fulton Street was our incubator. We shared space with the African American Teachers Association. But those of you who are parents know that at some point, you got to kick them kids out the damn house. And they got tired of us because we rolled in numbers in those evenings. Malinki, you remember those? Amari? And so we had to get our own space. And G2, always the visionary, took us around the